So a few months ago, there was an article that attacked Starmer, and it was attacking him over something close to a Brexit stance. The article was trying to throw shade at him because because he didn't say that he would push the government to get an extension for the transition period. The list mischaracterised Starmer in quite a negative light. First and foremost, he has stayed away from Brexit altogether. But what he said in regards to this article, because again, most people don't really read the articles, they just go by the headlines. But actually going through it and listening to what the man actually said, it was words to the effect of, this government has made a promise that it will be done and sorted by this date. If it's not done, they need to be held accountable, and that's exactly what we'll do. I mean, regardless of where you come down on Brexit, that's a good stance to have. A politician, someone you pay for, has made a promise. If they don't keep it, they need to justify why. Essentially, it's like if you have your own business and your employee says, yeah, I'm going to come in at 9 o'clock and I'm going to get all this work done by midday. Your employee doesn't turn up till 3 o'clock in the afternoon and they're shit-faced. You can't let that slide. And it's not like politicians get a little bit of money. But recently, and this is getting more and more under my skin as we go forward, I've seen the independent groups attacking Starmer. Again, more and more. So what are they saying? Basically, they're saying that Starmer stabbed Corbyn in the back. They're saying Corbyn lost on multiple fronts, but it was because of his own party. No. See, Corbyn rallied a lot of people. There were major factors in his downfall, but it wasn't because Starmer stabbed him in the back. And let's not ignore this factor, because this is something I keep writing on these Facebook posts, and I have to keep on saying to people, Corbyn lost to Boris Johnson. Let that sink in for just a moment. Boris Johnson, the man who rugby tackled a child, the man who left his wife when she had cancer, the man who spent a fortune in court so that one of his illegitimate kids couldn't have anything to do with him, the man who doesn't even go by his actual name, which is Alexander. He's publicly known by Boris because, hey, that's more relatable, the con man. The man who is destroying the United Kingdom by putting a border within the UK. That's who Corbyn lost to. And there's tons of things I could go through with Boris Johnson and how it is incomprehensible that anyone could lose to him. But Corbyn lost to Johnson. Corbyn lost to Theresa May and to Boris Johnson, two of the most incompetent buffoons who have ever stepped into number 10. I mean, my God, if Ian Duncan Smith had been Prime Minister, there is your trifecta of morons, self-centred monsters. And Corbyn lost to two of them. I can't overstate that enough. Now, I've said before, in my opinion, Corbyn lost because he refused to control the narrative, and that is what is playing into me making this video today, because again, the narrative is being controlled by the right wing. We not only have one of the most laziest gobshites as Prime Minister, but possibly the most deplorable of deplorables running the country. Piri Patel wanting to abduct people and throw them into another sovereign country. Matt Hancock, the moron, who is still pretending as if he's done a good job with the NHS, who said it will not be privatised under my watch. Well, a shit ton of it has been privatised this year alone. Gavin Williamson, what an epic disaster that fuckknuckle is. And let's just skip over Johnson's 5th, 6th holiday this year. Let's skip over the fact that his first holiday was when the country started to flood. His second was when the virus became an actual problem that he had to face. Should we ignore also the fact that the EU offered us part of the PPE procurement scheme, and this government's first reaction was, no, they didn't offer it us, they didn't, no, they didn't. Oh, well, maybe they did, but then they sent it to the wrong email. Okay. We were on that meeting with them, but we're British. Okay, being British didn't stop over 45,000 people from dying. Highest death toll in Europe, and the worst recession we've had in history. There are 1,000 crimes being committed by Boris Johnson and his cabinet of monsters. But again, the left is not controlling the narrative. Mainstream media is not doing it. That's part of the reason why I started this channel, because mainstream media is skipping things over, or they're not going into enough detail. What we are seeing consistently is this government taking your money, giving it to their friends, and laughing as our loved ones die. It falls on groups like We Wear Red and all these other Corbynistic supporters to actually hold them accountable. And we do that by keeping the conversation going. We do that by updating each other on what's actually happening. And for the life of me, I can't understand why so many of these groups are so butthurt that Corbyn isn't Prime Minister. I'm sure he would have made an amazing Prime Minister. I loved every single one of his policies. I loved the man's history. And I absolutely respect the man as a politician. I wish there were more like him. But here is the bottom line, guys. He lost. We lost. And now we've got Starmer, who every time goes into Prime Minister's questions, smacks Boris Johnson down like the lying little bitch he is. Corbyn didn't do that. Yes, best Prime Minister we never had. But if your auntie had balls, she'd be your uncle.